For the first game, the theme was 10 seconds or less. So I decided to create Hole in the Wall in Unreal Engine 5. I have basic knowledge in Unreal Engine from previous courses, so I wanted to try out making a functional game in Unreal. The gameplay is when you start playing the game, there is a wall going towards you with two openings. One is blocked and one is not, and there's a timer at the top showing that it's coming at you in 10 seconds. As you can see here, you can go through one and the other one bug. I made the wall going towards the player by using spline, which is a method to make an object move by drawing them a path by linking, but also linking the object, which is the wall, with the spline blueprint. I've also created a timer blueprint, as you can see up here, so that you can tell the game is 10 seconds or less. I've had and this its blueprint here. I've had troubles making the game work because of my lack of experience in Unreal Engine. And by making this game, it allowed me to understand the coding type of the coding of Unreal. The improvements I would make to this game would be to have actual questions, go with the walls, and making sure that both walls look the same, rather than you can easily tell which one is the bad one and the good one, and so that every 10 seconds a new wall will appear, because previously when making this game, when I tried to add more walls, they never followed the same path as the first wall, and they just stayed in place. So I would like to have more walls that are invisible and are visible again after every 10 seconds, and actually move towards the player. For the second game, the theme was Solve It. I created a Rubik's Cube in Unity, as I had some experience with the engine before and with C#. As you can see, the game contains a Rubik's Cube which you can move each side. You can shuffle it so it's randomized, and then you try to solve it. I followed a tutorial series to make this Rubik's Cube. All the code is from the tutorial series as seen here. This project uses Unity 3D and 2D, but mostly focuses on the 3D aspect as of the cube. My knowledge in 3D is not as good as in 2D, but in the long run it turned out good. The weaknesses I went through when creating this is when there were errors in the code. I didn't know how to fix them, and so I had to do all the code from scratch. The improvements I'll make to the prototype is to make the game more fun to play, rather than just having a cube and two buttons that shuffle it and solve it. For example, adding a timer when you press shuffle, and when it's done shuffling, the player will have a time to solve the Rubik's cube, and they'll see how much time it will take them to solve it, and put on a scoreboard. Also, have it so there's different type of Rubik's cubes, rather than just a cube. For the final game, the theme was Sayot, which stands for freedom. So I decided to challenge myself and create a roguelike in Unity 2D. I used all my old code to create the whole game. For example, the shooting, the player movement, the health system, and the enemy AI. I mostly focus on the visuals, as you can see here, by the use of an asset pack, shown here. I focus on the visuals because for my other prototypes, I mostly focused on the gameplay rather than the visuals, so I wanted to try something new. The character also is a sprite found here, and the clouds used to for the background are also found somewhere on itch. The weaknesses I went through while creating this game was the gameplay looks more like a top-down shooter than a roguelike. As you can see, the firing only goes forward, it doesn't follow your mouse, and you don't get any points. And when you kill the original idea is to make it when you kill all the enemies, a teleporter activates and you can teleport to other levels. However, I only managed to make one level. The strengths were the visuals of the game. It helped me give the game a personality by looks and feel than rather than my previous games that only focus mostly on gameplay, the visuals. Improvements I'll make to the game will be a functioning fire system that actually follows the mouse. Different type of classes. Original idea was to make the main character first to be a melee, but because of the time crunch, could not make one. An item shop / enemies dropping points, and of course more levels, so the player can move around, play more rather than just one level.